And I was in my first week, and the leader of the ministry shoved me into a wall and said, around here, it's my way or the highway, and you'll need to figure it out right now. I was about twice his size, and I put my hands in my pockets because I didn't trust myself. And I was so angry. I was so angry. And I was not in a position where I could call anybody and talk to anybody. And I went on a walk, and I cooled myself down. And the next day he called me in and he said, you know what's wrong with you? And we had that conversation. And I'm mad all over again. And I walked out and I went on a walk, and God and I were talking, and I was talking, and God was listening because I had a lot to say. And the Lord said to me, you're not here for him. He's knocking chunks off of you that I have not been able to get your attention on. And yeah, he's rough, and boy, he's gruff, and he's out of line, but it's going to knock stuff off you that needs to get knocked off of you. Wow. It was the ugliest tool God ever applied to my life. But I served the man for the entire time I committed. And when I left there, I was different than I got there. And just because you get into a personality conflict and a difficulty, after you said words that came out of my mouth, God told me, God called me, God assigned me, God sent me. And then you get there and right away it isn't what you think, so you're ready to quit. No. Either God called you or he didn't. And if God called you and he put you into a rough spot, it may have nothing to do with them. It might have everything to do with you getting molded and fashioned and shaped through some difficulty. Yeah. Joseph's brothers were wrong. They were wrong. But God used it. And it says, as he sat in a pit, getting ready to be sold into slavery, and the Lord was with Joseph. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Yeah. And he's with Potiphar, and the Lord was with Joseph and prospered Joseph. And then he goes to prison, and he gets forgotten, and the Lord was with Joseph and prospered everything he put his hand to. Do you know that God will put you in situations to hone you and refine you? Because it isn't about your comfort in a position. It's about God using what he needs to use to create in you the instrument that you need to be. So that when you get into a situation, a staff situation, where there's a personality conflict, don't pull back from it because you've been offended or because you're uncomfortable. Lean into it and let God do what God wants to do, because when you run away from that, God will have that waiting for you at the next place. Yeah, he will. God can have that same temperament, personality, set of issues waiting for you 100 miles away, 400 miles away. He will not give up on knocking the chunks off of you that need to get knocked off of you. I sat through that thing. God worked me over. That man and I are very close today. And I love him because God used him to change me. So often, we get in the middle of something and it becomes all about us and all about our likes and dislikes and preferences. And way too many people bail out of situations that God has worked very hard to put them into for their benefit.